Welcome to the Women Talk Construction podcast, where we share all things women in the construction industry, but also we share ways to get more of the workforce into our industry because it is a great industry for us to be in. I'm Christy Powell, the co-host of Women Talk Construction, and I'm here with Angela Gardner, our co-host as well. Hi, Angela.
Hello.
And today we are really excited about Jonna Turner from ABC Carolinas being a guest on our podcast. And a little bit about Jonna. Jonna and I, when we sit down to talk for 5 minutes, it's usually 3 hours later when we realize we probably better go. We do love talking about the industry. We love talking about how to make the industry better. We love talking about workforce and how to make just to make our industry a better place to live. And we're both really passionate about it. So we're really excited to have her on today. She is the membership director for ABC Carolinas in South Carolina. Yeah. That's her market. And she's done a lot prior to working for ABC a couple of years ago. She's been in a lot of leadership roles as membership directors in chambers and some other things. And we're just great to hear. I think everybody needs to hear her insights about what's going on with membership and how ABC is changing and leading the way in the construction industry. It's just going to be great to hear her insights. And honestly, if you don't know Jonna, you should. And I'm one of those people that when I have a great friend and I have another great friend and they don't know each other, they need to know each other. So if you don't know Jonna, let me know. I would love to introduce you because she is an amazing lady, not only in work, but personally as well. So Jonna, thank you for being here with us today. Yeah. And tell our audience just a little bit more about what fuels you to be the South Carolina membership director for ABC.
Well, thank you, Christy, for that introduction. And thank you, Angela. I'm so excited to be here this morning and share with your audience what an honor it is to be here. And thank you for that background information. Yes, you're correct. I have worked in chambers of commerce prior to being with ABC of the Carolinas now for over 2 years as the South Carolina membership director. Prior to that, I worked in higher education and marketing. So had a diverse background. So I won't go too deep into all of that. But when you introduce me to someone, I can tell them all about it. But, excited to be part of ABC this long and in South Carolina, just helping people build relationships and getting engaged. I mean, throughout my career, I've focused on strategic engagement to build thriving communities, right? So yes, at ABC Carolinas, that's what we try to do is align our programs closely with the needs of our members. And that's why it's so important that people know what we can do for them in the construction industry. So that's what we try to create, opportunities that provide clear value when it comes to, as you said, workforce development, safety training, and those types of initiatives. And it just helps us foster loyalty and growth. So just excited to be part of it.
Wow, I didn't even realize. And we know each other because you've helped me get Hill Electric plugged into ABC. And I didn't even know all this background about you. It's a pretty impressive one, I might say. But
it's a cool job.
So it is.
Yeah, but her history, just her journey is like, wow. So in speaking of that, with your experience, your extensive experience in building organizations like the Chamber, ABC, what strategies have you found most effective in fostering growth and community, in industry or your organization like ABC Carolinas?
Sure. And I think we just touched on that too. It's everything is relationships, right? You can't do anything without that. And and again, it's just being strategic about those relationships and being able to check in regularly. I've found that regularly checking in with people, it's not just meeting someone at a networking event and making a connection and passing along a business card. It's truly building relationships and friendships and then long-term relationships that you would need possibly in the future. So I feel like regular check-ins and just staying actively involved in our members' success helps maintain a strong, engaged community. And that's what I try to focus on.
That's great
I
words
love
of
that.
advice. Yep.
So obviously, I love ABC. I don't know that everybody that's listening
Oh,
today
we
does
know
know
it.
that, but I am on the board, and I think next year I will be the incoming vice chair.
Yes,
So
congratulations.
thank
Woo!
you. I'm excited about that. I'll be honest, the secretary position was great, but that has never been my forte. I'm not the greatest at it. So I've been thankful to be able to let somebody else take the notes for the board meetings next year.
Well, the good thing is
But
you don't have to be the greatest at it as long as you're just,
as long as you got the notes.
with faith and you do it, though, then it just has
Right.
to go, right?
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah. And don't be scared to do it. It's easy, right? Like
May
we
not
can
be
figure out a way. Yeah. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is there are a lot of unique perks of being involved with ABC Carolinas, actually ABC all over the country. I get to travel, so I get to be part of a lot of different chapters. What are some of the perks that really stand out for ABC Carolinas right now that they provide for members, and how do those benefits support career advancement and networking in the construction industry?
Yeah, well, there's so many benefits, as you know, but of course, telling
Yes.
anyone else who may not be aware, in addition to just having access to the directory and being able to connect one-on-one with other construction companies in the industry, associates and suppliers, and also having access to major discounts nationwide. But we also, members gain exclusive access, obviously, to the networking events. Workforce development initiatives are huge, and specialized safety resources are critical in the construction industry. So these perks combine with, of course, we have advocacy efforts that benefit the entire sector. So we create a strong foundation for members to grow their careers and expand their networks there. So we try to cover all different areas. And I think also mentioning our IDM too is also a huge benefit to the industry and that you're very involved in.
Yes. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different kinds of benefits that we're able to offer our members. And again, for some people, it's just the discounts or it's just
Yeah.
having access to other people, but collaboratively being able to take advantage of any training sessions that we have, any of the advocacy pieces too, because that's what we're here for, is to be able to support those that are doing their job best. So they've got their head down, grinding every single day, while we're in the background working for them.
That's awesome. And insurance is another key, if I remember that right. Is that correct? Like just having group insurance availability, and that's not always the easiest thing to find when you're maybe a smaller or medium-sized subcontractor or contractor.
That's right. And another benefit with that is that you have access to national ABC. So we're one of 68 in the country. And not only can you talk to us on a regular daily basis, you can also talk to the national folks on a regular daily basis too. It's just that easy to get in connection with someone there about insurance, about advocacy, training, anything like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, you just mentioned so many impactful initiatives that y'all are doing at ABC. Can you tell us like the most impactful initiative? Share with us you've spearheaded at ABC Carolinas and how it's influenced the construction industry or community here.
Sure. Well, like I said, there's so many impactful benefits. And one of the things it's a team effort. So I wouldn't say that I have really led or spearheaded this, but I just think one of our initiatives that we're especially proud of at ABC of the Carolinas is our high school Build-A-Shed program, which includes students learning construction early on, and it helps build that next generation of talent in our industry. So they get that hands-on experience. It's a contest that they get to do all in one day. So they've spent several months talking to a general contractor who gets to come in their classroom. And whether it could be a construction class or it could be just Friday, we had a Build-A-Shed for the first time in Charlotte. And one of the schools that was there were students in the theater program. They don't even have a construction shop class, but they have a theater class, and they wanted to be involved. And so those theater students build sets. So this was just something really,
Nice.
yeah, it was really cool to have them there alongside other schools that have the shop classes or the construction courses, and being able to help those students gain those foundational skills and have that one-on-one holistic approach with the construction industry and meeting general contractors and relationships for that next pipeline, of workforce. So, so that's one of the things that I think everyone should be aware of and know that they can get involved in too.
Can I mention one thing? And just in light of what you just said, Disney hires people that are in construction because they have to have their sets and everything built. So students, please keep that in mind. All the
Yeah.
yeah,
You want to
all the
live at
students
Disney
in
World.
Okay,
Yeah,
so keep going with your thoughts. I just want to plug that.
I know we're I want to make sure, try to think about all the different things, but that I think is it's just fun, and it's huge that we get to do. We do it in Charleston and now in Charlotte. But what's fun is that they've worked on it and had that one-on-one with the GC up into the day of construction. And then all of them come together right beside each other, and they have to build it in record time from floor to roof, so that's just fun. And that's just one thing specific. But there are a lot of things that we do like that I think are really impactful to the industry, and it helps students. It helps them get exposure to something they may not have ever thought about before for the construction industry, especially mentioning the theater students. And like you said, with Disney, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I know that I mentioned it earlier, but the IDM I think is impactful too.
Yeah. Share with us what IDM it stands for.
It stands for Inclusion, Diversity, and Merit.
Awesome, because most of our audience does not know why ABC chose IDM versus DE&I. Do you remember what Mike told us that day?
Yes. So we had this one workshop it's our second one. It was a pilot, and I got to attend that, which was very impactful because Mike Bellaman, who is the CEO and president of ABC National, came to our office to do this workshop. And I think it was very impactful because we all do think of the other letters. What do you say? DNI.
DE&I. Yeah.
And so, and all the other ways that that is presented in the workforce. And I think the way that he presented it is more long-term when you're talking about merit, and that's who we are. That's what we're based on. That's what our philosophy is. That's what Associated Builders and Contractors was established on in 1950s, is the philosophy of the merit shop. So where everyone is included. And so based on that terminology and the research that they did, I think that it fits best with our goals too. And it helps, I think, the organizations, the industry as a whole, be able to broaden out their those that are involved too, and no exclusivity at all, because that's what the construction industry is about, has always been, and what ABC has always been about is always inclusion, diversity, and merit especially, and women in construction, diversity. And then, and it doesn't matter what the project is, because we work in healthcare, we work in education, we work in all the different, wherever you see a need, we work there. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't come down to what any type of specific group. We've always been inclusive.
Yes, that's perfect.
We work on movie sets.
Yeah, for sure. So the workshop is called Putting the Best Talent in the Field. And I really loved the fact that it was very much focused on the end goal, right? Just like what you said, this is a long-term plan. This is not a short-term situation. This is a long-term plan. Inclusion, diversity, and merit. And we all want to put the best talent in the field, right? Or on the job, no matter what job it is. And so that workshop was it was an all-day workshop. And I've been honored to be able to be on the IDM National Committee. So ABC Carolina is what we literally offered to be the second workshop ever conducted. And it was very well received. We got a lot of great testimonies from ABC Carolinas. We had a lot of great testimonies from ABC Metro Washington as well. That was the very first IDM workshop. Anyway, my point is that it really is going to make a difference for these contractors who are members to be able to utilize the resources in the workshop to be able to bring more talent in, right? Where we're not, like these smaller and medium-sized businesses don't have time to create a plan and, figure out how to do all the include everybody kind of thing. And what IDM does is provides resources for you to be able to just find the best talent to put in the field in each position. So I think that initiative is great. Of course I do. But the reason the DE&I wasn't used, other than, what Jonna said, was just, ABC's literally concentrated on merit since it started, is that what we understand, like ABC is really great about getting out in front of all of the general contractors and asking what they need. Mm-hmm. And they wanted us to switch some things around because they felt like the DE&I was too polarizing. So, maybe it was just talked about too much. Maybe it was just, what the situation was, but that was not a decision that was made individually. That decision was made collectively with all the ABC members. And that's what I do love about ABC, that they're constantly looking for input from the members to be able to make decisions like that. So,
and I thank you for being on part of that and spearheading that, because I know, of course, it's a passion of yours, and for you to be able to sit at the national level and be able to take that feedback that was received and be able to put it in some practical ways to help people move forward, is something that Mike Bellarmine said. If you're always looking in the rearview mirror,
yes,
it's hard to move forward at that workshop. And so I think adding this to your toolbox is just an added benefit.
Yeah, for sure. And members, it's going to be very valuable. I don't think we have all the resources on the website yet. I say we. But the resources are going to be there. There's going to be toolbox talks. They're literally going to have every piece of resource that you might need to just be able to make everyone feel comfortable on the job site, no matter what gender or what race. So I love that. Networking and growth. This is one of the things that I think you do really, really, really well. How does membership at ABC Carolinas enhance networking opportunities and career growth in professionals? One of the things that you guys are focused on right now, as a membership group, you're not the only membership director, there's more than one, is really focusing on the young professionals and how, they can grow and what we can do to help them grow as far as an organization goes. Tell us a little bit more about how that's working for you.
Sure, absolutely. So, networking and professional growth are really core to what we do at ABC of the Carolinas, especially of the Carolinas, because we are known all over the country as the chapter with the most networking events. And
yes, we are.
And they're like, "Are y'all crazy?" But we're just having fun, and we want to give back to what our members are wanting too. And again, it's all about them. The investors and what they are looking to do. Because when I say someone is a member, they are investing in themselves ultimately when they become a member of ABC of the Carolinas. And one of those ways, as you mentioned, is the Flex Future Leaders Exchange. And that really has been the focus of this past year, with Alan Emsler being the president of our board. And he is a president of McCrory Construction out of South Carolina. But it's really, when you look at the statistics and the data, we all know that everyone is looking to hire people. There are not enough people to in any industry really, but especially in the construction industry and with folks retiring. And so what we're doing in Flex, and it's been so successful this year, and being able to provide them practical training on things that they have needed, like succession plan type information, financial information, how to better your presentations, how to have better public speaking, how to network in a room of your peers or ABC suite or ABC C-suite folks. And, we've been able to provide them that training on top of going and visiting a construction site at a place that they may not have ever seen before, because a lot of folks that are just new into the industry may be a project manager working in the office or may not actually get out to the site. And I think that what Flex has been able to do is give them a broad insight into a little bit of everything that they can do in the construction industry, which is helping in our numbers. And that's why Build-A-Shed is important, or anything that we do with the middle schoolers is important, and our college chapters is important, because it's exposing them to other things that they can do in the construction industry that may not have ever thought about before. So it does help those younger folks build networks, and then maybe build their career too. But it also helps the industry as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I always see those come across, and I'm like, "Can I go?" No, I'm too old. Can't go to those. Darn, they look so much fun. Okay, so Christy and I love to ask this question of people, and so we're definitely going to ask you this one. What advice, and as we wrap this up too, what advice would you give someone looking to advance their career in the construction industry? Do you have anything that you specifically say to other people?
Well, absolutely. So my advice would be to anyone looking to advance in any industry is to focus really building on strong relationships. And that sounds easy, but and it can be. And it's also staying adaptable. That's what I feel like is important too, because I've seen firsthand how engaging with professional networks and pursuing continual learning can open doors for people. So I think at ABC Carolinas, we provide mentorship and development opportunities, especially through our committees and our councils, leadership programs. So we try to support members' growth. And I've just always told people, you are your own personal brand from the time, you're in school till you're not. And all your life, you are trying to advance and grow. And I just think it's important by, the company you keep, and that's your networking group. So it's so important to be able to build those relationships. And because it's such a small industry and it's a small world, you never know. You could be across the country and still see some of the same people that you worked with years ago. And you're like, wow, because it's a small world, you never want to burn any bridges. And you always want to just be able to build those healthy relationships, because you never know when you'll need someone someday, and they may need you too. So I just think maybe that's some inspiration for folks.
It is, and I love to stay adaptable, because you really have to, right, to navigate. So as we wrap this up, we just want to ask you real quickly to share what your favorite resource is, whether it be a book you love or a podcast you love, or even just...
Other than ours.
Number one. I was just getting ready to say it.
Well, she can say ours.
Women in construction.
But just share that, and then also share with our audience how to get in touch with you if they want to just get to know you, or even get to know ABC Carolinas or ABC National, because when you become a member of ABC Carolinas, you become a member of National too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Yes. So when we talking about books, when I read, I'm always I need a lot of help. So self-help books are the ones that I'm reading, and it's because in my personal life, obviously, because I feel like if I can improve my own relationship with my family, with my husband, with my children, then with my friends, then that's just a good way to you can improve everything else around you. So I love books by Lisa Turkhurst. She actually lives in Charlotte, and she's well-known Christian author. And one of her books that stands out to me that I think of a lot of her quotes are a book called Uninvited, because us as women, we feel rejected a lot. And maybe in the industry as a whole, we may feel like we're not competent enough. But it's not about construction. Again, it's just your personal life, because we let words in our head get to us without, they may not have ever been said before, but we're thinking them that someone said it, and they probably really didn't or think it. But that's what that book is about. And so I would highly recommend any read by Lisa if anybody's interested in needing all the help they can get like me.
And share with us how to get in touch with you.
Sure. So I am J Turner at abccarolinas.org. Email, phone number, it's all on our abccarolinas.org website. Any of our membership directors, anybody can be reached, and also at the national level. So if you just contact me, I can put you in touch with any of our members or anyone at the national level too.
And you're also on LinkedIn, so please follow her because she posts some really cool content.
She
especially
does.
A lot of those workforce development initiatives that she talked about.
And events that we go to. She always gets some cool pictures of our event.
Yeah. So you might even get to see Christi and I in some, if we're there.
So. Yeah, you have a lot of them. Yes.
But thank you, Jonna, for being on today.
Yes.
We really appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you and ABC Carolinas and National and all of the ABCs are doing for our communities and in the construction industry. It really is making a difference. So thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yes, you will.